New York, nice. Yeah, I know the timings are odd for people, but I'm trying to accommodate people from all around the world. So Vancouver, very nice, and London. Chile, I'm impressed. Houston, all right. And I wonder if anyone's joining us on YouTube. Just me. I like it. Okay. So did you all, Hyderabad, Odessa, Ukraine, welcome. And hello from Switzerland. India, I know it's fairly late, 7:30 in the evening. Well, not really late. If anyone's here from the West Coast, yes, Vancouver, I remember Naveed. It's very early for you. Thank you for being up so early. You will notice that I don't have my headphones in today, and that is very simply because I can't find them. So, Germany, Switzerland, wow, more from India, BC, Canada. Yay, one more Canadian. I'm Maya and I'm in Toronto, Canada. Karen is my business partner. She's really the brains behind this whole thing, and she is unfortunately not able to join us today, but she's in the UK, where I hear it's sweltering hot. I know I saw someone here, Dr. Jackie Taylor. Yeah, hope it's not so insanely hot. Another BC, Canada? No, that's Raj. All right, 2 more minutes. Okay, great to hear that it's cooler today. Now, someone find my headphones for me. Darn it. They just took a hike. Can you all hear me? If so, I will just keep shouting at the computer and we should be fine. Thank you. Last week's session, it's on YouTube. Just go look. I'll put the thing in here. YouTube live streams, including this one. So if you miss one, just go back here and watch it. We have a channel called Practical AI Skills, and it's the live streams in there. There you go. And last week was actually really super introductory. It was just, I've got to stop looking for my head, because otherwise you guys are just going to see the top of my head all the time. Um, yeah. Okay, back here. I'm going to do my screen share. There we go. If you're seeing a screen that says AI for brainstorming and planning, this document, just drop it in the chat if you can see that. Just to make sure I am sharing what I think I'm sharing. Can you see? I'm not moving until someone says, yes, they can see this. Oh, yes, thank you. Gamma, we're going to pull up our presentation for today and present. So those of you who were here last week, okay, first of all, how many of you missed last week? Put a 1 in the chat if you missed last week's session. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 of you missed it. Okay. 4, 5. Okay. So there are a few of you. I put the YouTube live stream link in there. So just go to that live stream and check out course 1 AI fundamentals. It was a super simple course. All it was just, do you know how to use Gemini? So literally go into Gemini and type some questions, get some answers, create an image. That was literally all we did last time. But the assignment was to also watch the YouTube official videos from um, from from Google. So this one, the AI professional certificate, because course one has a lot of extra stuff in those videos that we didn't cover. Just about governance. Don't put don't put sensitive information, either personal or company sensitive information, in public AI because you don't control what happens to it after that. That was it. And for everyone, we've got the Google Drive, which I should drop in the chat as well. Actually, I'll drop it in YouTube as well. Yep, dropping it into YouTube. Thanks, Dimitri. And actually, I'll pin it. So if anyone comes later and asks for it, Dimitri, will you point them in there? So that's the chat. And if you open up that drive, you will see that it's got, actually, let's go there. This is the AI Professional Certificate 7-week study group. We'll have one folder for every course. So there's 7 courses in this, hence the 7 weeks. Last week we did AI fundamentals. This week is AI for brainstorming and planning. And we have just a simple attendee handout that tells you where to find everything again. Also, we have the labs and prompts that we're going to be doing. You can just copy from here and paste into Gemini. So this today's is literally a little bit more of what we did last week, but just a little bit more complex. Recordings will all be on the YouTube channel. Go look at that. Well, not recordings, live streams, because I'm live streaming it. So there's no point making a separate recording, even though I know Zoom is recording right now. Okay, so the goal is this will take, I've allocated 90 minutes, but I don't think we'll take that long. It's a pretty short thing. So assuming you've all actually, no, you haven't, have you, gone and watched the videos for today, which you should do. Again, watch the official videos, which is in there in the Google AI Professional Certificate thing. And, there's all 7 videos are here. These are the official ones from Google. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Jackie. All right. So uh, if you've watched it, you know that not YouTube, Gemini is really good for using as a brainstorming partner. And that's literally what we're going to be doing with it today. So you're going to be able to brainstorm ideas, use Gemini as a risk assessment tool, and then we're going to make a notebook in NotebookLM. So that's like you have your internal company wiki. It's kind of like that. And we'll make one so that people can ask it questions. That's actually a very interesting feature of Notebook. None of the other AIs have it. And then, of course, we'll wrap up, and next will be session 3. That'll be next week. I'm proud of you, Jackie. You notice you're the only one who said yes. I'm, I'm really amused. There's how many people on this call right now? 40 people, and one of you have watched it. Well, 2. I've watched it. I've watched it multiple times now because I had to. Anyway, so bottom line with any AI, how you work with it on any problem, really, you first frame the problem. You tell it, what it is you want. What are you trying to get? What are you trying to solve? And why are you trying to solve it? Right? You need to know that clearly because the AI doesn't know it. And then you tell it the context, because again, AI knows all the information in the world. It's been trained on all of that, but it doesn't know you. It doesn't know your business. It doesn't know your budget. It doesn't know what your boss, your spouse, your teammate cares about, right? And each of that you have to give it in the prompt, or you put it in a background file and tell it to look at it. It's easier to me, in my opinion, than keeping on giving it the context every time. With all that said, you also have to be the one to look at the response that comes from the AI and decide whether or not it's actually correct, whether it's doing what you asked it to do. And also, just if it's giving you any citations, make sure they're correct, click on the links, make sure they exist. I've had every GPT I've used, sorry, not GPT, every LLM I've used has lied to me at one point or the other. And best of all, they not only lie to me, they then defend themselves. They're like, no, I did it because, and no, yes, there is. And or even better, yes, I'm giving you a whole new set of real recommendations this time. And then I click the next set, and those are also garbage. So it happens. And before I move forward, if you've got questions, please, whether you're on YouTube or in Zoom, drop it in the chat. By the way, Dimitri, if you want, you can join us on the Zoom as well. If I can find the Zoom link. Ah, no, I can't. Okay, can someone drop the Zoom link in Zoom chat for me, and I'll drop it into there for Dimitri as well. I know, weird request, but since he's there, thank you. That was kind of you. Given that he's the only one sitting there on. Nope, there's a few more. Oh, it's too long. Sorry. I am sorry, I can't do that. Okay, tell you what, I'll put it in the document. Do you guys have access to the Google Drive? I'll put it in here for you. And hopefully you should be able to click that and get going. Okay, so it's in your course 2 document, AI for Brainstorming and Planning handout. Okay, so where were we? Yes, so you make the call always. You're the boss, you're in charge. You can't use your sign up email. It's a secure domain. I'm not sure, Jackie, what the question is. How do you use your new email to get access? I'm drawing a blank. If I give you a link, can you not use it? Can you not click on it from the new email? I thought you should be able to do that. Oh, okay. Huh. I don't know. Drop me an email after the call, and I'll try and get that to you in another format if I can. Like I can maybe put it on pCloud or something for you. Okay. You can reach Karen and me both at Practical AI for business.co. And I wasn't actually trying to make people go away from YouTube. If you're happy on YouTube, stay there. Absolutely no problem. It's just that I can't. Okay, never mind. All right. So we've got 3 modules in here, I think. First module is we brainstorm and evaluate the ideas. So you give Gemini a persona, you tell it who it's acting as, and you give it the context, everything you can about everything you feel safe giving it about your business, yourself, and also, of course, the task. And it'll give you a bunch of options. And then you evaluate those options and score those options against your real criteria, whatever your criteria are. You validate, you research outside industry trends to sanity check your shortlist, and then you automate that research to repeat. Now, that scheduling bit, I'm not going to make you do because it doesn't actually work in here, despite what they say. So here's our example. We're taking one example of a company that's an analytics company, and we're carrying that through all 7 sessions. And in this scenario, we're revamping the new hire onboarding program. So every company has that, right? Either you hire someone new or you get a new client, you've got something similar. And that's what we're going to be working with. So step one, we're going to just brainstorm with Gemini. So open up Gemini and create a new chat. The new chat is on the top left. Just go click there, new chat, and come back in. You know, this is actually in the handout there, the Labs Plus prompts. It's right there. You are an HR and employee experience expert. My company is revamping its new hire program. So just drop that into Gemini. And folks on YouTube, I hope you're following along as well. I did. Oh, right, because Jackie can't even access the drive right now. Sorry about that, Jackie. But yeah, just put it in your Gemini and hit enter. And I'm just using whatever the default model is. I don't care. Flash, flashlight, pro, whatever. So it gives you, it's very verbose. It gives you a whole bunch of answers. And the goal here is this. This is week 1, week 2, and 3. Week 4 is reflection. And then pro tip is guard the manager's time. Okay, that sounds good. Don't judge the ideas yet. Just, just absorb the variety of what it's doing. And if you're not doing an onboarding program, like you feel free to put in whatever it is that you'd like to be working with. In fact, as your homework, I'm going to encourage you to do that with something that's not this example, because this is just something we cooked up, me and Claude together. So better to do something that's real for your business, for your company, maybe if you're in university, for that. And then we're going to say, do a cost benefit for each of these. So that you basically can figure out which ones are good return on investment. It again goes off on things. Now this one I actually like. Look at this. It tells you the cost is low, benefit is medium, couple of days to implement. That's a maybe. But here's the culture buddy system. Low cost, high value, high benefit, and 1 or 2 weeks to implement. Okay. I'm probably going to go for the one that says low cost, high value, and only 1 week to implement. So I'll probably prioritize those first. So again, I mean, this used to be something you had to come up with manually, think about it. Now it's just one more follow-up prompt in the same chat window. We haven't left the conversation. Gemini knows what you were talking about already. Now let's take that one step further. Let's say, what are some current trends in employee onboarding? And we're staying in the same chat. We're not moving to a different chat here. So this is helping you then make an informed choice about what to look at, which ones to prioritize. And every AI does this, every once in a while it'll ask you what you like. Which version of the output do you prefer? I don't like too much text, so I'm going to go with option A. A. Hate that, hate that, hate that. Yeah. Hopefully you're not all getting the same kind of questions. Sorry, I keep forgetting, Jackie. Thanks for the reminder. And if I didn't put it there, I know I didn't put it in YouTube either, so yeah. Okay, so it gives you a whole bunch of answers. Which of these trends resonates most? Okay, Now, if you're doing any, if it, you see, it gives you citations. And this is one quick way to check that what it's giving you is actually real. You can actually click on it, go there, read it if you want. I don't want to read it. It's eye-poppingly ugly. And it's even asking me, like, is my company remote, hybrid, or in office? Very relevant these days. And this is basically where it's no longer, where it's no longer just reflecting your ideas. It's also giving you outside context that you didn't have before. Okay, so now this is the bit that doesn't work for me. Run this analysis once a month so I can stay up to date. This actually works really well in ChatGPT, by the way, but does not work so well here. Gemini. And it'll tell me I can't schedule anything. At least that's what it did the last time I did this demo. If you do want to do this once a month, I'm going to say either set it up in ChatGPT or in Claude. Both of them have schedulers. Or just put an alarm on your phone. Yeah, there you go. I have a technical scheduling error in setting up a multi-month recurring update. Okay, it's willing to do it for 1 month. Sure. Let's do that. Any questions, by the way, please drop them into the chat. If you're an enterprise user of Workplace, it's there. Got it. Okay, so Jackie has an advantage over us. She's an enterprise user. I don't see any questions. And, if that works, which it'll work for Jackie, you're a Google engine. Why are you here? Look at this beginner course, Jackie. This is very introductory. So basically what Gemini does is it schedules the action. You can rename it, adjust the frequency. And what happens is then once a month or whatever frequency you put it, it updates itself and sends you that notification. So that was it. Instead of a blank page, you now had something very quick that you were able to evaluate quickly, compare it against industry trends, pick a short list. So pretty useful. And it can do that research over and over at once a month. Yeah. Now let's go on to the next bit where, oh my gosh, Jackie definitely hit me up because this is exactly what I'm working on too, making AI training equitable for those who are neurodiverse. I have ADHD myself, so yeah, totally get where you're going with this. That's fantastic. And now we're going into the second module, that's risk assessment. So basically, when you get an idea, most of us, we love the idea, right? We don't see the blind spots, the pitfalls that are waiting because we're seeing the beautiful, right, picture there. But an AI, on the other hand, has no such attachment. It doesn't say, oh, this is my baby, it's perfect. You give it a sentence and it basically can find the holes in there for you. And once the gap is flagged, you can then ask more details, like how is it going to impact me? What else can I do? How can I plan ahead to avoid that, or not just avoid it, but if it happens, how do I mitigate it? And you can ask it to create a milestone chart, right? So basically the equivalent of a Gantt chart. So again, same example, just a new angle. And if you don't have a prompt, just describe your plan in 1 or 2 sentences, right? So again, I'm going to copy this put it in the chat for everyone. And let's go into that needs an A. I'm not too happy with that. One letter too many, one letter too few. So put that next question into Gemini. Oh, sorry, in a new chat, in a new chat. You're an expert program manager. My company is rolling out. Okay, now it's going to say what? It's a new onboarding plan. We are going to have new hires buddy up with an existing. I can't type today. To speed up their time to productivity. This is very management speak. Okay. So while it's a great idea, it also introduces hidden dependencies, right? Now, the problem is that it's great for the newcomer because they'll get up to speed faster. But for the person who is already working in the company, it's going to slow them down because they've got to answer questions, they've got to be a mentor, all of that. And there's operations and enablement dependencies. And if any of those engineers was already on a critical path timeline, you know you're going to have to add additional staff to that project to make sure that you're not delaying your entire project because of this. Again, I'm going to keep an eye on questions. And none so far. If you've got questions, drop them in the chat, please. I'm keeping an eye on both chats. Not all the time, but close. So yeah, where can you find a reminder that Gemini is scheduled? You can't see it, but it says it was scheduled. Just ask Gemini, where is it? How do I see it? That's in fact, yeah. So you would expect exactly the gaps it pointed out: provisioning timelines, manager training sign-offs, approvals, whatever. Like, or in my case, the whole thing about the productivity of the existing thing. Anyway, pick one gap that feels most real. That's what we're going to look at next. In my case, I'm going to say, for me, it's this one, training the trainer, because you're not automatically a great mentor, right? Jackie says, if you're working in Workspace, you can add this to your calendar and it'll show up in your prompt window. That's nice. And then next question, let's focus on whichever one you flagged. So put that in the chat again for everyone. To get in there. And again, what a good output should look like. It'll tell you whether the dependency is on the critical path, how many days of slip it'll cost, like all of that. For me, it's the training the trainer. My engineers are very smart. But they're not always great teachers. And it again tells me the critical path breakdown. So now that needs a new phase in the critical path. Yeah. The rule of three, the watch, do, teach framework for pair programming, and how to protect the target date. Are you expecting a huge wave of new employees, or is it a trickle? And I tend to answer in one word because AI will do that. Okay, so now let's ask for, basically you're asking at this point for a Gantt chart. Okay, this is great. For me, because it's a staggered rollout. But that's a pretty good looking chart. But it's also, look at that big red flag. It's missing. It says my timeline, but there are still some critical problems. And yes, the I'll just do it for you problem. Programmers get very impatient. I should know, I am one. So there's a good chance that I'll just say, let me do it, let me do it, let me do it, let me show you. But except let me show you is I'll fix it for you. And let's just go, yeah, go ahead and do that. So again, makes a lot of things so easy, so much easier. And you've got a little bit of a milestone list. You can go back and do this for all the other dependencies that feel significant. And basically you can paste it directly into your project brief or your Slack message or whatever, right? So just to keep the work going and to remind people that this is the way we do things in this company. Okay. Are you guys following? Is this making sense? Are you able to get some useful answers from your Gemini? Okay, cool. One person, yes. Over on YouTube, yes or no? Oh, thanks, Dimitri. You said I really like the mind flow of your prompts. They're perfectly tied together towards the outcome. Oh, no. Gana God, I have the response. I'm having a hard time fulfilling your request. Can I help you with something else instead? That's not very useful, is it, Gana? What was the question again that you put in? Yeah. Maybe just the last one. Okay, the last one was draft a one page. No, the question we put in was create a timeline listing key milestones for training the trainer. For me, I said training the trainer, but whatever you put in, whatever gap it was that it identified is what you should have put in there. I'm surprised it said that. Try again. Or try again after this, because really that's not fair what it did to you. Okay, so basically with this one, we were able to, you're using Thinking 3.5. Flash isn't working well. Interesting. I don't know. I'm in Canada. This could be a regional issue. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm using Flash. Yeah. You're using the extended thinking. Okay, this time I'm switching to Flash Lite. Flagging what's missing, engineering buddy sheet. And I'm just going to ask it to do one more. Where was that other one? Can you also create a timeline for the HR to engineering? Minimize delays. So Gana, maybe try this one and change instead of HR to engineering, give it whatever it is that was on your screen, another project from there, another gap that it identified, I mean. I have no idea why mine keeps going off to show the top of my head. That's not very useful. Okay. So again, what we just did, we got Gemini to find the gaps, to quantify the impact, and then to build the recovery plan for you. All of that is useful. And again, use it in real life scenarios, right? Assume you're going on a trip somewhere. You usually assume that you can get from home to the airport with no problems. But what happens if the highway is closed? Happens every once in a while, especially in summer, especially in Toronto, because they dig up all the highways here in summer. Maybe you're going to miss your plane. What's your backup plan? Are you going to leave an hour early? Are you going to take a different route? Are you going to map out a different route in advance just in case? Of course, the best thing to do is actually check the map before you get into the car. But AI can help you with all kinds of things, including that. Or if you're planning a dinner party and you're assuming XYZ will happen in the right order, what happens if it doesn't? It doesn't have to be those Mickey Mouse examples either, real work examples too. It can help with all of that. Okay, module 3. This is the fun one, in my opinion. And this is a problem everyone has, right? All of this knowledge is in one or two people's heads, or it's in a document somewhere. It's in 20 different people's drives, inboxes. And every new hire literally will ask you the same questions over and over because they need to know. And the one person who knows all the answers, that person's job then becomes let me spoon feed it to every new person. And it's not just new hires, it's all kinds of things. There are knowledge silos. It happens to me at every job I go to because I like becoming an expert in whatever I'm working on. And human nature is is that literally if you know someone has the answers, you're going to ask that person because it's easier than you going and doing a quick search. So what we're going to do now is take that information out of your head, out of all the 20 different documents or websites, wherever you got them, and put them in a notebook. And what's a notebook? A notebook is a local knowledge base that Google's got, basically like your internal wiki. And kinds of things that are good for it, new hire onboarding documents, for example, the full reference library of a project's history. If you do a postmortem analysis on projects in your company, large companies do this, then you put your lessons learned in something like this so that you can learn from each project as you go. Process guides, SOPs, benefits policies, compliance docs, all of that, just put it in Knowledge Hub in NotebookLM. Has anyone used NotebookLM? Anyone? Anyone on Zoom? Or anyone on YouTube? Hopefully you have. And okay, let's go ahead. So now we've got a new hire, and your manager is asking the same 10 questions every single cycle. And let's build a hub that answers them instantly. So you don't have to keep answering the same question. So again, go to notebooklm.google.com. Aha, Dimitri has used it. Great. All right, so let's just go there. I'm going to type that in. I could have pasted it in, given that I pasted it into both chats, but no, I have to type it. Ooh, that's a lot prettier than the one I looked at last time. Okay, so I'm going to create a new notebook here. And let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to create a notebook. We're going to upload some documents, ask some questions, and review the answers it gives us. We've got sample docs in our sample docs folder. So again, go into the shared drive, course 2. What happened? Did I not put the sample docs in there? Well, that was useful. I see them here. What did I do? Can you tell me, anyone else in the chat, are you seeing sample docs or are you not? In your chapter 2, not shared with you. Okay. In that case, Gana says she sees them. He, sorry, I don't know, Gana, if you're male or female. My apologies. And it is shared. Cool. Thanks, Gana. Anyone with the link can see it. And this is Google AI Professionals 7-week study group in AI for brainstorming and planning. I see it here. Why am I not seeing it here? Yes, it would help if I refreshed my screen. Anyone who's not seeing it, refresh your screen, please. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take these 4 documents and make them available to NotebookLM. So up top left, add sources. And I am going to say I want it from Google Drive here. And in the shared with me drive, which one is it? The 7-week study group, course 2, sample docs. And I discovered yesterday you can actually click multiple. And each one as you select, at the bottom it says selected. So you can insert all 4 together. Brightline Analytics, look at that, it knows my company. It's a fake company, just in case you didn't realize. Yeah, thanks, Richard. No, not Richard, Rich Before Revenue. People on YouTube saw it too, yay, happy. And there's new short video overviews. That's new, I hadn't noticed. All right, so what we're going to do is now we're going to ask some questions. You know, just whatever you want. What happens on a new hire's first day? What are the key milestones? Like whatever you want, right? It doesn't have to be anything. You don't have to copy paste is what I'm trying to say. Or what are the key milestones? What happens? New hires. So basically now what you're doing is you're checking, it's responding only from these 4 documents that I gave it. It's no longer looking at the web. It's not relying on what it already knows about a typical new hire. This is now going to give you answers only from the documents you uploaded there. And it specifically says so. It's for first day at Brightline. This happens, they're going to log into their laptop. This is their schedule. Schedule, both work just fine. Or you can ask the second question, what are the key milestones in the first 30 days of onboarding? And this is a question, if you are a new hire somewhere, you should always ask this. If it finishes ever. I didn't realize that I can't type. What is the best way for a new hire to make sure they're meeting all their managers' expectations? Because that's the thing you don't know, right? As a new person, when you join a job, something that could be useful. Best approach is to actively engage in the series of check-ins. Great. Yep. So this is a good question. Anytime you start a new job, ask your AI, how do I impress my boss? Because bottom line, no matter what you think, your job description, maybe you're a project manager, you're an engineer, whatever. Your real job is to make your manager look good, always. So if you keep that in mind, you'll probably have a great success. And of course, the way you make your manager look good is by being more productive and all of that. And again, check the citations. It only should answer from what you gave it. So if you notice, number 5, yep, it's from one of the documents. Number 4 is from another, actually it's from the same document. Great. 3, so everything is in that. No, a couple of them are from the different document there. Okay. So again, NotebookLM, extremely useful. And if you're feeling like experimenting, go ahead and in NotebookLM, ask it to give you a slide deck or an audio overview. This actually generates a short podcast, really fun. And since this is sitting here tempting me, this is not part of the course. I'm just going to click it because I have nothing better to do. And you guys are here to watch. Format, cinematic, explainer, or short. I want short. Yep, let's do that and generate. You know, when it tells me short video, I'm not expecting it to say also, this may take a while. Okay, fine. You sit there and take a while. What else can you do? You can click share, right? And what that will do, you can invite teammates by email address, write a note, and save and send. Where's the share? Right there. You click there, you can add people. This is just me. And right now, only people with access can do it, or I can send it to anyone with a link, or I can make it public, which means what? Anyone in the world can discover it. I don't like that. So I would probably do either anyone with a link or restricted, and then you copy the link and send it off. Or you can, like I said, add people or groups. Not doing that. That's it. So now you've got, instead of a whole document pile, you can dump everything into notebook or multiple notebooks. Like you can have different notebooks, obviously, for different subjects. And the good news is it's kind of like having Notion, right? That's what we started using Notion for a while ago. Everything is in one place. You find everything's linked to everything else. But unlike Notion, you can actually ask questions and get answers. With the podcast, it can be talking on the podcast and you can interrupt it to ask a question. It's really, really fun. So experiment with that. Okay. As I said, the goal was to finish approximately an hour, and we're almost there, almost done. So basically, what did we do? We used Gemini as a brainstorming partner. We used it as a devil's advocate to find the gaps in your thinking. And we also used NotebookLM as kind of your library for people to find things in when you're in a company, a group. You could use it for your church documents. You could use it for if you're a condo, what's it called? Condo manager. You can put all your buildings FAQs in there. You can put in the contact information of every plumber and electrician and whatever that you call on to get the work done. So it's basically your source of truth then. And tomorrow will be, not tomorrow, next week, we'll talk about using AI to do research. For that, it's actually useful if you guys have a Google AI Pro subscription. You can either pay for one or you can get your 30-day free subscription if you've got a Gmail account where you haven't used it yet. Or sign up for something like Coursera. Sign up for the 7-day free trial. That gives you a 3-month free trial of Google AI Pro. So sign up for Coursera, use that to sign up for your 3-month Google AI trial, and then cancel your Coursera if you don't want to be paying for it in 7 days. Okay, so that is the end of the planned talk for today. Did you guys have any questions? The link of the main shared folder. That's the Google Drive. It's literally in here. So I just dropped the Google Drive link again. Folks on YouTube, you have it already, but it's pinned at the top, but I'll also put it in there. And in the Google Drive, if you go to the base of it, you see course 1 and course 2. I'll add 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 over time. Course 1 was AI Fundamentals. And that's right there. Istvan asked, can I watch course 1 somewhere? Of course, it's on YouTube. And to find it, just look at the attendee handout. Where did I put it? No, I didn't put it there. I'll add the Zoom link in here too for future. So if anyone wants to do that. Look in course 2. Where did I put it? AI for planning. There we go. The YouTube live streams are here. So anyone who wants to watch a live stream that you missed, just go to YouTube and watch it from there. There's also the official Google AI Professional videos, and you should all watch. Email. You should watch those videos because those are the official ones. When we finish this course, that's when you will want to sign up for Google AI Skills, and they give you a 7-day trial. With that trial, again, you have to watch every video, read every document, and then take the quizzes. When you finish the quizzes for each course, you get a badge for that course. After you get all 7 badges, you get the Google AI certificate. Sorry, the Google AI Professional certificate. It's a pretty straightforward process. The only thing you have to be sure of is that you must use a Gmail that has not already been used for Google AI Skills. Sorry, for Google Skills. Any other questions? Thank you, Dimitri. That helps. That's useful to hear. Anyone else on YouTube? You got any questions? Please feel free to drop it in the chat. Happy to answer. We've got another. I still cannot access day 1. Why not? Naveed, what's happening? Tell me, are you seeing the Google Drive? And in the Google Drive, are you seeing course 1? Bhaveen, you're very welcome. And for next week, again, it's the same answer. I will put in the lab 3. And you guys need to watch the video in advance. Again, go to the official video. And what is it? Next week is research and insights, I think. Maybe. So that would be for research and insights, video number 4. You refresh your screen, Naveed. You probably just haven't done that. You're a white hat, so you might be able to fix it. Awesome, Jackie. Yeah, I'm really still wondering why you can't access it. And I'm still curious, Jackie. Someone who's a Google engineer does not need this introductory course. So I'm very curious what brought you here. And anyone, by the way, guys, feel free. We've got a LinkedIn. No, what we have is the attendee. I just closed that. I didn't mean to close it. In the attendee handout, we have a community. And that community is literally where you can go in, talk to each other about your, no one's active there, but there's 17 people in there. The Zoom link is in there if you missed saving it somewhere. Actually, that's a good thing to put. Copy the link, and I am going to stick it back in there. Oh, it is here. Is this one longer or shorter? Hey, it's a lot shorter, in which case you can do that. All right. And all our videos are live streamed, so grab them from YouTube if you miss one. Any other questions? Are you serious? I'm so sorry. I did not realize I only shared the drive link for. Okay, let me do that properly here. Shared with me. Google AI Professional Certificate. Copy the link. Okay, can someone click on it and tell me whether that's the full drive link? I apologize for that, Naveed. That was definitely my mistake. Awesome. Great. Yeah, I was wondering why you wouldn't see it. And just in case that was the same problem for everyone else on YouTube as well, I will drop the correct drive link into YouTube. There we go. You're welcome, Phoenix. I like the way you spelled Phoenix. All the E's and all the I's. Awesome. Okay, so if there are no other questions, I am going to give you back half an hour of your life. See you same time next week, Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. So anyone joining from there, I'm really apologizing. Jackie, you're very welcome. Also Naveed and Bhaskaran and everybody else. And I am going to give you back your life. Have a great day. Bye.